Hello everybody and welcome back to Cast Album Chat with Tyler. Today we're going to be doing something a little different, something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I would like to see other collectors do, and that is kind of not welcome the viewers into my home. I don't want you to see the rest of my home, which I just cleaned, so it actually looks quite good, but show you sort of my den of collection. But mostly what I wanted to talk about in this video by showing you that is how I organize my collection, just to kind of start a conversation about how we all organize, both physically and digitally. So I'm going to take you on a little journey here, so you can take a look at some of my all of my music collection, some of my memorabilia, and then take a look at my electronic collection as well. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm not very technologically advanced and I cannot get my illumination to work, so I can squat down here in front of my little ring light, so it's a little bit better. But I'll turn around the camera just so you can see the collection. Just kind of wanted to show you as far as the scale of that CD case. It's basically all full, but I'm going to turn this around in a second, just so you can see some of the CDs in my collection and how I have them organized. All right, so this is but one wall that I have of my little study here. I work here, I listen to music here, do quite a bit here. So I really want to focus on the CD collection. Of course, I've got some of my Criterion collection up here, horror films, pictures, memorabilia. I guess the only thing show tune related down here that I wanted to show you is this little encyclopedia of Spanish musical theater. It is a fantastic book that really kind of chronicles musical theater in Spain. That was a gift from my husband, and it is very, very special to me. So if you have any questions about Spanish musical theater, I probably might not know the answer, but I can find the answer in this book. Really looking at the rest of the wall before going into the CDs. I do have a couple of Avitas up here. We have the South African cast recording, beautiful, on the wall that is framed, and also the New Zealand cast recording up there. Got my new Jesus Christ Superstar from the Czech Republic there with a slipcase, and a couple of kind of leaflets from productions of Phantom of the Opera in Japan and Sweet Charity from Spain. My little poster here from Zit Art. I'll put up some information on them. If this is the kind of art that interests you, this was the Operettenhaus in Hamburg where I did Liebe stirbt nie. So that is very special to me. And that is kind of it as far as my non-show tune collection here. Now, going into the actual organization of things, I'm a weirdo. As many of you know, I started with, you guessed it, Andrew Lloyd Webber. So I actually have all of my cast recordings from Andrew Lloyd Webber together by title and then chronologically. So of course I had to start with the likes of us over here. When I say chronologically, I don't mean when the recording was done. That can be hugely variable. But you know, I start with when they were written, and even though this recording wasn't done till probably 40 years after the piece was written, it was the first piece that Andrew Lloyd Webber wrote. So I started there. And then of course you'll see here, let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. So this is the consortium recording of Jesus Christ Superstar. It is the first actual recording, sort of cast recording of an Andrew Lloyd Webber show. So I kind of started from there. And then as you can see going through, I've got the studio recording from 73 or 72, 73. And then some of these others, this is just a transfer that I made of the Irish cast recording from Dublin. And just kind of going along throughout Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat cast recordings. By the way, if there's anything that you see here in a close-up that you want me to talk about later in a video, I'm more than happy to do that, because a lot of the times, you know, some things you can tell exactly what they are. They'll tell you, like, well, I can't go backwards on this. Joseph, US cast. You know, I think a lot of people know what that is. It's no mystery. Dromen, I think it's easy to look up and see which version that is. But, you know, there are a couple here that just say Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. So, if you have any questions about these, just let me know. So kind of moving on from there, just so you can see how everything is organized as far as Andrew Lloyd Webber is concerned. Of course, I had likes of us over here, Joseph. And then we just go chronological here to Jesus Christ Superstar. So this gets us through. I always have to leave spaces because my collection does grow. Every once in a blue moon, I'll have something up, kind of up top here, just to get it out of the way. This is a highlights version of this recording right here, so I didn't really want it to take up space, and I do have a little bit of room up here. Looks kind of messy, but I can deal with it. So yeah, so we just start back over here, the 1970 concept recording of Jesus Christ Superstar, going to the most recent, which as far as I have, at least I don't know if this is the most recent recording, but this is a Viennese concert in English. Of course, with Jeeves, I decided that I was going to put Jeeves all together in the same place. I think, I don't know exactly. I'll have to look when I'm looking at my computer. I think I put all of the Jeeves recordings, whether it's Jeeves or by Jeeves, under Jeeves. But I just like them to be together. I do have an extra copy up here of this Scarborough recording, which looks almost exactly the same as the London recording. This is the Scarborough recording. This is the London recording. And other than the cover and of course the CD and the audio itself and the number up here, can't really tell much of a difference. But just kind of going through, I got Evita after that. And then of course we've spoken about Song and Dance a little bit as well. I like to keep those in order of variations, Tell Me on a Sunday, Song and Dance. I know it's weird, some other people might do differently, but that's just kind of what I do. Of course, I got all my Cats recordings here, going into Starlight Express. So, you know, this is just chronologically in how they were in the year they were written and premiered. So they go all the way through Phantom, and then going down a little bit more to Phantom here, into Aspects of Love, Sunset, Whistle Down the Wind, Beautiful Game, Woman in White, and Love Never Dies, Stephen Ward, and finally Cinderella or Bad Cinderella, which we never got a recording of. Kind of going from there, I just have an affinity for Viennese musicals, especially Elisabeth, anything by Levy and Kunze. So, you know, I've got all of my Elizabeth recordings here. Sorry to disappoint, but I don't really collect a lot of Takarazuka recordings. Otherwise, I would just need a full bookshelf for them because there are a ton of them. But I do like the, you know, some of the Japanese recordings I have here. But I don't have very much from Takarazuka. So sorry there. But yeah, so I've got Elisabeth, Mozart. I keep going up. I don't know what my problem is. Mozart, Rebecca, and then I think I have Marie Antoinette here. Yeah. And then that just starts everything else. I have Andrew Lloyd Webber, Viennese musicals, and then everything else, all the way down. So, I mean, I guess I could do a little shot here so you can see sort of everything. So if you want to hit pause and see which CDs I've got, by all means. But, you know, going from the A's here, back down to the A's with And You Get Your Gun. There are some shows that I'm very much a completist with, and then other shows that I'm not so much a completist with. So I just kind of pick and choose sort of which ones I want to get all of the recordings from. I do have most of Cabaret, as you can see there. Of course, there are some of them that are only available on vinyl, so we'll look at those later. We got some Chess Chicago, Chorus Line, some good old Sondheim in here. Threepenny Opera. This is another thing about organization for me. If a show premiered in another country under a different title, you know, for example, if, I don't know, Elisabeth is just a name, so it would always be Elisabeth in any language. But Threepenny Opera, for example, die Drei Groschen Oper, I put it under the D's because that's the actual title of the show. Additionally, you know, kind of what you'll see here, for example, I think Fiddler's a good example. So in some countries, it's just called Anatevka. So I think this is the Viennese recording. Nope, this is the Hamburg recording. The German recording there. I still put them in, you know, obviously with, I should have taken that light off in the back. I still put them in with Fiddler on the Roof, obviously. So when I say they're in alphabetical order, they're in alphabetical order by title. And they're not in alphabetical order by, you know, what they're titled on the spine. Because sometimes the spine won't give you any information on what they are. So I got a little bit of Grease in there, a lot of hair, Hedwig. I'm gonna have to restart this video in a second so I can take this light out of the background. But I'm gonna finish with my J's over here going into Jekyll and Hyde. Jouet, which is a cast recording from Austin, Texas. So that's a cool one. Going into my King and I's and Kiss Me Kate's over there. And I realized it was not the light behind me, it was actually the light from my phone. So we're just gonna have to deal with it, and I'm just gonna have to find an angle to which we can see these recordings in without the glare. My Les Mis collection here, which is put to shame by our good friend Justin, but you know, I do what I can. Lion King, lots of little shop there, here. Love Mamma Mia. I'm gonna have to do an episode about Mamma Mia because I adore it. As you know, I've gone through a lot of heartache with the French cast recording on vinyl, and you will see those in just a second. But kind of going through here a little bit faster, so I'm just kind of narrating the scrolling through the collection here. Notre Dame de Paris. Coming back to more Notre Dame down here. Oklahoma. Pegados, which I was really happy to find. Some Promises. You'll actually see one of the few Takarazuka recordings that I do have here of Promises because I love that show. A little bit of Rent, lots of Rocky Horror, which I will show you a bit more later. Sister Act, hilarious show. Starmania down here, some good old Sweeney, Sweet Charity, Tanz der Vampire. I didn't put this with the Viennese musicals just because this is kind of originated outside of Vienna. Jim Steinman wrote the music, and so it's not a Levi Kunze show. It is a Kunze show, but not a Levi Kunze show. So that's why I put Tanz der Vampire down there. The Who's Tommy, sorry. Mavis, my W's, all the way down to Zorba from Spain. Some of this over here is just miscellaneous stuff that is not all, most of it is not cast recording related, although some of it is. I do love Dario Argento as a director. Gosh, I cannot center this thing. Dario Argento, so I have a lot of his soundtracks here. But kind of going into some show tunes, I do have some of these stage holding CDs that have singles of shows that never really came out as full cast recordings. Alurskalin from Iceland, Ulaps from Estonia, Memory Gold also from Estonia, a couple here from the Czech Republic, and then I have 3 different zarzuelas from Spain. Might do an episode on that, but I don't know how many people are terribly interested in zarzuela, which is not really modern musical theater, it's more like an operetta. And then a review from Portugal. Then I've got a little bit of Christmas Nutcracker stuff and whatnot. I think down below, these are just movies here, so that is not concerning the collection. But I do have a lot of scripts here, or kind of strangely sized things. This is the 10th edition Broadway recording of Chicago, Elizabeth. Atlantis, which is a really weird shape. I don't know if you can see this with my hand, but it's kind of elongated, so that's kind of a weird one. And just a few scripts over here. So, if you're listening to something and you want to kind of pull out the script, then you can do that and follow along. Oh, and finally the remastered Jesus Christ Superstar that we got right there. I gotta say that was a lot of squatting, and I am kind of sweating right now, but I'm gonna keep going. I feel a little exposed right now inviting people into my home, but it is a lot of fun. So, gosh, my hair, what is my hair doing today? I feel a little bit exposed showing people into my home, but it's a lot of fun, so we're gonna keep going with it. So simultaneously, maybe one of my favorites and least favorite walls of my office here. There's not a lot behind the door there. I do have my, By Jeeves poster over here from Scarborough. Scarborough, is that the Stephen Joseph Theater. And then I've got mostly movies over here, so we're not gonna worry about all those movies, a lot of Criterion collection. What I do want to show you is sometimes where I sit to relax and enjoy on my lovely couch with my beautiful little kitten here. Say hi, Octubre. We're taking a nap and we're grumpy, so we're gonna back away here. But on the wall up here, I do have, gosh, if I can get this glare not to show, let me show you. The Swedish cast recording of Hair, the Norwegian cast recording of Hair, and the Danish cast recording of Hair. Still waiting to find a good copy of the Finnish, so I can put all of my Nordic vinyls up there. But yeah, this is just one of the walls. All right, let's excuse the mess here, but this is a good bulk of my collection, even though it doesn't look like it. So on the wall, I have some kind of interchangeable Vinyl covers that I got up there that I just don't want to be ruined. But I have a few framed vinyl covers. Of course, take the vinyls out. I'll show you all that later. But I have them that I can kind of interchange here. These are just on shelves here, so I can, take them out, move them around, do whatever I need to do. So that kind of gives me an ease of decorating. Also on this wall here, I have my wonderful print from Squigs that did this print for us when I was on tour with Love Never Dies. And then kind of going into another video. This is a corner right here, so I'll show you some of this Rocky Horror stuff later. But kind of going into another video, I've got some things up here that are they have interesting packaging, so the size of them are a bit strange. And I think they actually look good whenever you display them. So, I've got some Mozart and Elisabeth here, and then I have a couple of cast recordings from Barcelona over here. So this is kind of where I keep my records, and not the actual vinyls themselves. This looks terribly unorganized, but I promise you there is a method to my madness here. So, I've got one of my little speakers over here, so I can get a little bit of surround sound, and of course my good headphones that I can listen to when I'm transferring some of my vinyls. So as you can see, I've got my new Starlight Express here. Not spinning right now, but it's still on the turntable. And of course that is all connected to one of my computers over here, which I'll get to. That's on the fourth wall. But kind of going down here to the rest of my collection, before I get to the vinyl covers, I do have some Blu-rays over here of just different editions of movie musicals that I really enjoy. So I'll keep those out. My collection of poker chips from the Las Vegas production of Starlight Express, because now this is really just turned into a Starlight Express fan channel. And some programs that I have collected over the years of shows. This one on the top is Chess from the Gothenburg Opera that I was happy to see. Oh my gosh, almost over 10 years ago. Plus some other kind of oversized things that I didn't have space for to kind of put on a shelf or don't really hold up on their own. So I've got those here and here. Here is where I have my little 45 EPs. So kind of at the top there, Song and Dance, Joseph, but I've got quite a few there. So I'll go to that collection in another video. And my two meager tapes of Barnum from Madrid and Cats from Hungary. The reason I got Cats from Hungary is because I was in Hungary many a moon ago and people still listen to tapes, and that was the only way I could find Cats. So I had to buy it on tape. Then I went to another city, found it on CD, so I have both of them. So I hope you are ready for how weird I am about these vinyl covers. So I really hate to have the vinyls in the covers themselves because they just get that really terrible ring wear. So if you are limited in space, kind of like I am, you don't want to pack these too tightly with the vinyls in them. Of course, I do have some that already had the vinyl wear on them. I'm trying to think of a good example. I can't think of any right now. But I try to safeguard against that. So, I have organized, it's a lot harder to see some of these, but I've organized, obviously, starting with my Andrew Lloyd Webber over here. That's my first one. Of course, also the Consortium Joseph album here, but kind of moving all the way through my Andrew Lloyd Webber. And then my first non-Andrew Lloyd Webber is probably Annie. Yeah, which Annie is this here? Annie from Australia. So right there. So it goes all the way through Annie over to, what can I make out there? Hair. I see that green Little Shop of Horrors from Iceland. And then kind of only going down to here. Otherwise, these are kind of collectible soundtracks, which don't have anything to do with show tunes. So all of that is to say that I keep my vinyls in a different spot, and I'm lucky to have a few of these cases here that I have labeled. This one, for example, these are my Andrew Lloyd Webber recordings from Joseph through Evita. So what I've done is I have bought these slicks. So they're all uniform. So nothing's kind of like really sticking out. I do keep the original kind of paper or plastic slicks in the vinyl cases themselves, because I don't really want to lose those. They are part of the original packaging, but I just feel like my vinyls are much more safeguarded here. And of course, let me see if I can show you. So of course, that first one that I showed you over there was Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, the year and the type of album that it is, the consortium album. So I can just kind of go through here and look on the right side, the way that I've labeled these. See if I can find a rando here. What is that? Jesus Christ Superstar, 1984, Mexico City, disc 1. Then disc 2. So that's how I have this organized. I just have 4 of these right now. I probably need to get another one. Let's see, the last vinyl that I have is Evita from Budapest, 1986. I have these organized. This one here, I've got another one over there with all my plugs. This Tell Me on a Sunday through Cinderella. And then kind of going across the room. Let's see if we can do a little time warp. There we go. I have my other recordings over here. So starting with, let's see, Annie from 1979. Obviously, I don't think I have done the little slick for Annie from Australia. That's a new addition. Just kind of moving through here. So I've got all my hair in here. So I can easily find all the vinyls that I want to find. And another special appearance by my terribly damaged Mamma Mia from Paris. This is the one with the wackadoo corner. And this is the one with the hole in the top. So the lesson is, friends don't let friends order from Amazon Friends. All right, and the final wall where a lot of the magic happens. This is kind of my computer setup here. Of course, you've seen my weirdly sized things over technically on this wall. There's the corner there. But I do have 4 really great Rocky Horror vinyls up here on the wall. Mexican, New Zealand, Rio, and Essen, Germany. So I've got those just kind of staring at me all the time. So I like to have these vinyls up on the wall. I've got them on all 4 walls here in some way, shape, or form, and they do get changed out. These get changed out more just because they're easier. I don't have to unhang them and hang them back. My little Record Town sign up there. And then this is kind of the where a lot of this happens. I usually put my little prints here from Boy King. This is kind of what I would love to do all day long if I could, but I can't. So yeah. Let's see. So I've got my computer over here. This is the actual computer that runs things. And then I have a second display over here. Why I need all of that is sometimes I have to look at the artwork that I've scanned in using my scanner over here. And then, like I said, the record player is connected to the computer. And then I can see actually what I'm doing because I'm completely blind on the bigger display right here. So yeah, that is kind of my little collection here. So we'll go on to the kind of digital part of things right now. All right, and there you have it. Sorry for the different angle right now. I know this is a little bit weird, but I didn't want to change the lighting setup when I took a picture of my collection over here. Yeah, that's it. I think I have not edited this yet, and of course this will be edited when this little clip is in the video, but I think I'm going to split this up between 2 videos just so I can show you kind of what I do physically and what I do digitally. Piece them together so you can watch them at your own leisure. But again, thank you so much for taking this little chaotic tour through my little den in here to look at my collection. It's something I'm very proud of. I've been collecting for a very long time. And I have very specific memories kind of looking around the room of when I bought something, what time in my life I bought it, why something is important to me. So, I find all of this it's a very special room for me where I can concentrate, listen to my music, and just kind of float away sometimes when I need it. So again, thank you for joining me, even though it has been chaotic. I kind of exposed my little recording area in here, and also my computer and everything that I've got on there, but I just wanted to share that with you. Once again, if you have any questions about anything that I've spoken about in these videos, be it physically or digitally, just let me know. You can write me messages. I guess you could write me a message on Instagram. I'm gonna try to use my Instagram a little bit more. I have not been using it very much, but you can write me there. You can write a comment down below. Of course, As always, like the video, and most importantly, subscribe so that I can, keep on doing these videos because I love them so much. I don't know who's out there watching them, but I have a blast making them. So thank you very, very much for following and watching, and until next time, bye.